Hi everyone, welcome to Mala's Verse. Welcome if you're new here, welcome if you have been here before. Thank you so much for joining this video. So today's topic is going to be very interesting. It might be triggering. So if you are not feeling up for it, maybe you should take some rest. Take a deep breath and see if you are drawn to this reading or not, because the topic for today is what is a blind spot in your family or familial relationships. And I wonder what's in store for us. But we have three piles to choose from. So the first pile is move forward. The second pile is, and the number is 23. Second pile is interesting enough at number 2, balance. And the third pile is number 13 with free spirit. If you are drawn to more than one pile, you're more than welcome to do so. So before you choose the pile, take a deep breath. Breathe out through your mouth and do this at least 3 times and choose whichever pile you are drawn to. And like I said, if you're drawn to more than one, you're more than welcome to do so. And I'll see you in your reading. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the card, move forward. This is your reading. We'll look at this card later on. First, we are going to look at these energies here. So the Princess of Swords here, which is the Page of Swords, represents your energy. Three of Cups here represents your energy with your parents, your connection with them, or whoever you look at as your parents or primary caregivers. And these two cards here represent your connection with your sibling or whoever you consider as your sibling, right? That energy. And for that, we have Four of Wands and the Sun, which is interesting. I was about to say Seven of Cups for some reason. Let's see what shows up there. I mean, if that is a part of the energy or not. But with the Page of Swords here, you might be the tech geek in the family or someone who's a deeply intellectual or research based person, someone who is looked at as a person who is very tech savvy is the first thing that's coming through very strongly. And definitely a very good researcher. You might have done quite well for yourself academically is what I'm receiving. And when it comes to your connection with your parents, or whoever you look at as your parents, there's a very friendly connection, a friendship connection, to be honest, is what I feel. And I feel like, I mean, this uh, symbolism or whatever this shape is, it actually looks like an egg to me. So the first thing actually that came to my mind was Easter egg, for some reason. And finding the Easter egg, I think, or that's a game, I as far as I know, in when it's Easter time. So having fun, playing fun games like that. You could be the older sibling in your family, essentially, because I feel like this is a time period wherein it was just the three of you before your younger sibling was born. And please take the messages as it resonates with your reality, because it's a general reading. So I definitely want to say that. Yet you always have felt like a friendly connection with your parents. Maybe your parents are the kind of people who really like to pull pranks on people, like really innocent but fun pranks, and they're jokesters. That's the energy I'm getting here. And with your sibling, again, there's a teammate energy with the Four of Wands and the Sun card. Most likely your younger sibling is probably a Leo, is what I'm receiving. Yeah, the Leo is definitely coming strongly here. Some of you might be air signs, which is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. But most of all, yeah, the younger sibling could definitely be a Leo. You could have a younger brother or a younger sibling who has that energy, like childlike, fun, young boy energy, who likes to fool around and have fun, and is very light-hearted, light-footed even. That's what I'm getting. You guys might have either the sibling or you both have a very strong connection with your grandparents, is what I'm receiving. And don't go by the gender I'm talking about, go by the energy. So definitely you could be you could identify as the with the feminine energy as well. So take what resonates, and you feel like teammates to me, like you and your sibling, especially when it comes to organizing things. I feel like organizing events for the family, or organizing a trip, organizing a get together, you both really enjoy doing that. You are the people who invite everybody, and you organize every single detail within the event, essentially. Or even if it's vacation time, um I definitely perceive that you both have this innate desire to bring a lot of joy within the family. Like you take a lot of initiative like that. That's the energy I'm getting with you two as teammates this while. And yeah, I would now like to actually dive with the. So I just wanted to address this though. Like we do have the death card at the bottom of the deck. So, like I said, both of you might be deeply connected to some of your grandparents, or someone who has passed on to the other realm. Definitely feel like you guys have had your fair share of fun moments with this older person, and it's not necessary that they might have passed on, but I definitely am getting that message. Yeah, for sure. Like some of you might be spiritual as well, or have had experiences that are paranormal. I mean, I'm just laughing because yeah, it can get scary. But I feel like you guys have had those paranormal activities either happen to you. May not be true for all of you, but I'm definitely getting that for some of you here. You guys could have had, even dreams where you worked together, or where you might have had dreams of each other and meeting your grandparents, stuff like that. So let's see this card here, which tells us what do you know about, or what are you aware of when it comes to your family connections. And with move forward card, I do feel like there is a reminiscing kind of energy when it comes to both connections here that you have with your siblings, or whoever your sibling is, and your parents. Really living those moments, or wanting to relive those moments that you had as a child. Really fun small day activities that you might have done which were fun for you. So you could be reminiscing that, remembering that, and having a hearty laughter with yourself even. And like I was mentioning, there is probably a chance that you are pursuing higher education, or you are taking a step forward into your career in a way that you have to move away from your hometown, your home, essentially, to a different place altogether. And I feel like even if this is happening, you are you're definitely celebrating that, especially with your sibling, and even with your parents. But it's giving that energy of being fearful about what's ahead a little bit, because we all are a little bit scared of what's there in the future, right? What is uncertain, what is not seen. And also, if you have already not stepped into this energy, you probably are aware of the changes that are coming through in your life. And so there might be a fear of leaving all of this behind. I definitely feel like, because we do have the Queen of Cups here at the bottom of the deck, because I mean, this Page of Swords, nature of yours, or this persona, I would say, for the lack of a better term, even though all of your people, actually your family, looks at you as someone who's a researcher, very intelligent and all, they might also be, I don't think they are aware of, but I definitely feel like you are aware of the fact that you're quite protective, very emotionally caring for your people, essentially your family members, and you really don't take, you basically like a protector is what I'm getting. So you don't take ish on behalf of anybody, like anybody talking bad about your parents or your sibling. You will not take it at all, and mostly I feel like you might not even express it in front of them, but you will stand up to the bully if that's the case with your sibling or even relatives when it comes to your parents. May not be in front of them, but definitely you have your ways to go about it and express your distaste around this. But anyway, what you're aware of with moving forward is that you are definitely elated and looking forward to what's coming through, but you are also at one hand a little skeptical or fearful about the changes that are coming through. And let me look at these cards here, which will tell us as to what are you not aware of, or what is the blind spot. I do perceive that this file, essentially, you guys express a lot of stuff logically or intellectually that makes sense to you, or even about things that are education related and are fun for you, but you may not be very expressive about emotional things. Although you're hella emotional, very soft hearted, very kind, very nurturing and compassionate people, this file here. Let's see what's the blind spot. What are you not aware of? Pile number one. I do feel like there's a fear of leaving behind your people because you have to move forward into this new phase. And it's more like who will have their back is what I'm getting. That's the fear that's coming through. But let's see what's hidden, or what is a blind spot right now. What are you not aware of? We have, it's interesting. I was looking at, we do have air guardian at the back of the deck or the bottom of the deck with shift your perception. And it's interesting that before filming this reading, I was watching some very cute cat videos, like they randomly popped on my feed. So we do have a black cat here. So High Priestess, harness mystic power. I feel like, yeah, like I said, you're very logical and you might not express your emotional side so much. And with the fact that I was also sharing how you might have experienced, spiritual stuff or paranormal activities, or, just ventured into that stuff, probably not with your awareness when you were younger. So you might have your own doubts about it. But what you do not recognize is that you have a lot of protection, like and not just for yourself. I feel whoever your guardians are or guardian angels are, I would say they are definitely protecting your family as well, but this belief is not very strong in you is what I'm getting. That's the blind spot, essentially, that you need to recognize that there are forces, unseen forces specifically speaking, who are very well taking care of people who are near and dear to you. And the more you tap into this energy, the more you meditate into this energy, or even just express gratitude for the seen and unseen forces that do have the back of your loved ones, I feel like this is going to concretize itself more and more into your being. And that's what you need to recognize, so that you move forward without hesitation and with full trust in yourself and in the universe. Trust that whatever you have experienced with them, educated them about, or even shared with them are things that they will remember and get into practice. There is no point, like, we cannot be the god of anybody else's reality, right? So shift your perception. Instead of looking at them as people or like individuals who really need your help and can't do without it, recognize that the forces that take care of you, nurture you, are also the forces taking care of them and nurturing them, right? We are all a part of that infinite source of energy, infinite intelligence. The energy that created those planets that surround us, or the entire universe, is the energy that's flowing through all of us, every single one of us, right? So those energies are definitely for sure are taking care of your people. I feel like if you are an artist, then that's great. Or if you already paint, that then that's amazing. Otherwise, I definitely feel like if you can indulge some time in using colors to express yourself, and be it in any way, shape, or form, you do not have to be artistic when it comes to this. This is going to help you a lot. And if you cannot express in words what what value your family has for you, your sibling or whoever you consider as your sibling has for you, why not create an artwork and dedicate that to them as a tribute to your connection with them, because that's also going to strengthen in a way like your connection, because it's going to reiterate or strengthen the fact that you do value them a lot. It's just that you may not be good with expressing it, but the more you gift things that come truly from your heart center, the more they are going to recognize this Queen of Cups soft nurturing energy within you. Don't fear expressing yourself, pile number one. About I mean, it's not going to take away the fact that you are strong. And I would also say that harnessing mystic power and shifting your perception, maybe you are people who do not talk about your own struggles, especially emotional struggles, to people around you. um, I would say you are safe to do that when it comes to your family. Yeah, that's coming strongly, that you are very safe to express yourself, especially when it comes to your sibling. So don't shy away from that. Let's see what is a guidance coming in for you from your higher self regarding this. Take a deep breath in as I connect with your energy. Oh. We have two cards come up for you, and we have star ancestors. Like I said, you guys do connect with, even if you know or you don't know, you do have protectors, energetically as well, to keep it simple. And we have Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, like I said, loyalty, safety, trust. And Star Family, wow, you're part of a team of souls call in support. Yep, you're like I said, your higher self is clearly saying that the people around you, the people you consider family, are definitely a safe vessel for you to share your inner thoughts and inner feelings with. And don't hesitate in sharing what is true for you. And with Star Brothers, like I said, very strong connection between the siblings here, between you and your sibling, essentially, and whoever you consider as your sibling, because this could be a family that you've chosen to be with, right? So you are a part of you're part of a team of souls call and support. Your higher self is definitely indicating towards connecting with your mystical power more. So whichever way feels comfortable for you, it's I mean, you do not have to full-fledged go into spiritual practices. Whatever calls for you, it could be as simple as just saying thanks to the sun in the morning as soon as you wake up, and thank you for the day. Especially just keeping this attitude of gratitude is going to get you a long way. And if you are someone who wants to connect more with their higher self, with their guardian angels or team in spirit, just ask whatever is true and very close to you. Just ask your team in spirit to show those symbols to you time and again in very specific ways eventually, so that your trust builds with them. Maybe it could be a sign, it could be a color, a bird, an animal, a favorite sweet or candy of yours, anything, whatever works for you. It could be a card that you like. So definitely you can connect with them in that manner. And apart from that, if you don't feel that you want to indulge in those activities, you can definitely take out some time in the evening or in the morning, just saying prayer to whoever you believe in, the universe, source, whoever is the source of creation, a god, whoever you believe in. Just taking some time out, first thanking for being alive, having that air in your lungs and breathing with such ease, sleeping on that comfortable bed, whichever you know you are sleeping on, because that supported your body, even if it's the floor, whatever it is, just giving thanks first, and letting whoever you believe in, just ask them to help you out in whatever struggles you are going through. Do know that you are supremely protected. Like I said, that's the main message that came through, that you're very, very safe. That's what you are not aware of when it comes to your connections, that you are safe, your family is very safe. So move forward with complete trust. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt that, things are not going to actualize or anything like that, or that they won't know the path forward. They do know the path forward. You know the path forward. That's why you have to move forward, right? Even if it's uncomfortable. So do know that you've got your back. The universe has your back, and just keep repeating that message to yourself time and again, because that's the only blind spot here. You're highly, highly intuitive. This is a Markaba, and it is it visible now? Yeah, I think so. It is said to be a vehicle to travel between realms, and it also provides protection. So what if you could, visualize yourself in the Markaba, ask for the forces of highest good and light and consciousness to support you through this journey. And another tip could be, you could definitely connect with Archangel Metatron. He is very well versed with sacred geometry, essentially, and I love him. So you can definitely connect with his energy, and see if that's something that suits you. If I most likely will just, put a meditation frequency video, so that connects you with Archangel Metatron's energy. And definitely look into, I was about to say high priestess, but what I'm trying to say is, look into the energy of Lady Isis as well. She is a divine mother, and you definitely have that mother energy. So I feel like if you are interested in connecting with these energies, because we have Egyptian energies coming through quite strongly for this pile, like I said, very intuitive. Maybe I don't know why this is coming, but then the Mummy series might have been something that you have watched. Like I said, something paranormal is definitely a very core memory with this file, or something that you probably actively indulge in. Regardless, definitely look into Lady Isis as well. And yeah, I just wanted to also add that maybe you guys are interested in history, especially Egyptian history, and the timelines of the reigns of various kings. For some reason, that's coming through. And maybe you do watch documentaries around the rediscovery or restoration of the tombs and all, which is there. Some of them are present on Netflix as well, as far as I remember. I think one is the Saqqara tomb. So that these things actually might fascinate you so much, so that watching these could actually give you goosebumps. So some indication of having a connection with with that place, with that timeline. So yeah, multiple messages coming through, which is interesting, because that's not at all what I expected to come through when we were talking about a blind spot in your family connections. But overall, I would say it's a very positive energy, pile number one. It's just that you need to realize and even strengthen your own belief in the non-physical, and how much it is actually caring for you and supporting you. Just ground that awareness. Definitely a lot of grounding will help with this. And some of you might have cats as pet, or you might be drawn to cats. All right, pile number one. I hope that was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for joining this video, and do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do share this video if you think it could help anybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in future readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. So if you chose the balance card, which is number two, interestingly enough, this is your reading. We will look at this card later on. So the other cards that we have here are the Nine of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Wands. So the card in the middle, which is the Queen of Pentacles, represents your energy. The card on the left represents the energy of your parents or whoever you consider as your parents, your primary caregivers. And the card on the right represents the Eight of Wands energy, is representing your connection with your sibling. With this pile, I feel like this pile has been the rock of the family, especially when it comes to its finances too. But I feel like taking care of the family. Many of you might have trigger warning, so you might have had such a tough childhood wherein the mother figure was either not present, or even if she was not able to take care of the family so much so that you had to step up and do that. Pile number two. Oh wow, too many energies. Take a deep breath with me, please. Pile number two, take a deep breath in, breathe out through your mouth. One more time. I'm getting that you really had to fight the world to care for your family, especially your sibling. It's not necessary that this person, the person who's chosen this pile or pile number two, it's not necessary that you are the older one or the younger one. Could be actually that you are the younger one too for some of the people here who've chosen this pile. But definitely, a lot of chaos growing up for sure. You definitely were there to take care of your sibling or whoever you considered as your sibling. uh yeah, you were the protector and you took care of a lot of turmoil caused within the family. There could have been trigger warning, there could have been domestic violence within this family, which could have altered the path for how you have lived your life and how this family entirely has gone forward. With the King of Wands in the reverse here as your connection with the family, I definitely feel like you could have been, or you still are, the person who is the primary breadwinner within the family. Or maybe the father figure was not the best example of a leader within this, for this group. And definitely, if this does not resonate, this is not the group for you. Please know that. All readings are general, so only take what resonates. So you definitely had a very strongly um, triggering connection with your parents, whereas with your sibling, you might have come off as very strong, I mean, assertive and aggressive to your sibling, yet they do know that you are taking care of them, you are also taking care of them. You have worked a lot on your body is also what I'm receiving, taking care of your health, taking care of the business and the income that is coming through, or the job that is coming through. You're definitely somebody who is very strong. um, yeah, very strong, simply put. And you've worked very diligently, very sincerely towards creating this safer environment for yourself and for your family members, regardless of the fact that if the primary caregiver was present or not. Because I'm definitely getting that for a lot of you, the primary caregiver, especially a mother, in a nurturing way, and the father to take care of you, especially financially, was not present, is what I'm receiving. And so many of you might have started off your careers very young or started earning quite young. Definitely, you guys have overcome too many obstacles. You probably were judged a lot by others around you. Some of you might be beauty influencers, is what I'm getting, or in the makeup industry, something like that, where you're working with beauty, and so you were judged for that as well. For probably the fact that, I mean, not the fact is that people judge about this a lot, which is that people who are outwardly good looking or have a very strong skill set of makeup or even dressing up well, that they might not have the brains. But that's not the case with you, is what I'm receiving. In fact, I feel like you are a very good role model for your sibling as well, or whoever you consider as a sibling. This could be your best friend also, who is like a sibling for you, sorry. And you work very, like I said, quite diligently, very seriously on your art. You have given up hours and hours of dedication towards reaching this point, and you knew that it would take time, that you will have to build slowly, but you did not give up. You are not the kind of person who gives up, because we do have the wheel of fortune, so you definitely changed the pathway of your family, I would say. Like I said, all of these disturbances carved the pathway to who you are as a person today, where this family is leading themselves like as a unit, but you're the one who's taking care of it, especially financially and in the physical realm, really nurturing and nourishing the family with a lot of things. Definitely, like I said, many of you are the primary breadwinners within the family. I With a Queen of Pentacles, yes, it's a very feminine energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be feminine, biologically. It's just the energy. So take what resonates. With balance here, what you know, this is what you're aware of, and what I would like to talk about is, that you have to give yourself time to nurture your energy, because I feel like you are, because of these events, and very understandably so, you had to be in flight or fight mode when it came to taking care of your family, financially, materially, probably even having the situation where you might not have had a square meal to have, basically, or the roof over your head. So you definitely worked through those fears, and you overcame those challenges, or you are overcoming those challenges. But now, because I feel like you're reaching a point of more stability, or more, and I would say, like, this is not just stability finance, I mean physically, all of that definitely could be the case, but more so trust in yourself, that you can make this happen, that you can really change lives, including yours. Because that awareness is now settling in, now you're recognizing how emotionally you are essentially not there. You're right. You are very scared. Your heart center probably is closed off. I'm not saying that you're mean, not at all, but I would say, like, there's a lack of love towards yourself, or recognizing how much you have done. And I feel like you are recognizing this in patterns with your connections, but with other people, especially people outside of your family members, I would say. You're recognizing that you are fearful of letting people in, because, like I said, a lot of this turmoil or whatever you experienced was people that you should have trusted growing up. As we, like, as humans and as children especially, we expect some people to be the ones that are trustworthy. For example, like I said, your parents, right? So because those wounds run deep, and you had to care for yourself, it's that you have learned to care for yourself on a physical level, but now you're recognizing that there is an imbalance when it comes to taking care of yourself emotionally, nurturing yourself, or doing activities that actually bring you joy, rather than just taking care of others around you. With Om here, I definitely feel like many of you are I don't know why that. Okay, I'll address that. But with first, I just want to say that with Om as a symbol here, I definitely feel like you guys could benefit a lot by just chanting Om, only if it resonates with you. It's not a compulsion at all. And apart from that, yeah, meditation. But what I'm trying to say is, when I was mentioning the beauty influencer thing again, what I meant was, either you guys are beauty influencers, or you guys are social media influencers. You're running a home-based business. Some of you, and many of you, could be actually spiritualists as well. Like I said, medicine women, medicine man, something like that. You might be into Ayurveda too, or it could be your personal practice, or that your business is based on Ayurveda. Could be crystals too, like you're selling crystals. And some of you could have like your own esoteric spiritual shop, essentially, with potions, crystals, decks, tarot decks, right? Or just mixes for rituals and candles and stuff like that. Maybe you have a spiritual shop like that. Apart from that, yeah, like I said, some of you are spiritual practitioners here, or your business in that is in that area. So that's again, even this blowing up is still taboo, right? So I feel, like I said, you guys have been judged a lot for the career you've chosen, but you can see that you are, not just can see, you have proven it to yourself too, that you can take care of yourself and your family with that business that you have created. So yeah, that's one point I wanted to add. So now I'm going to see what is the blind spot that you are not seeing in your family connections. So that was my crystal rose quartz that fell over, but it did not break. So I feel like that's symbolic of the fact that, even though, and we were talking about the fact that you are, not so, you are aware of the fact that you're not so emotionally open to others, and essentially, but you are very, your work, your life essentially, and how you operate is very heart centered for sure. And because the quartz did not break as much, I definitely feel like that's symbolic of all the hardships you went through. Even though you went through them, it's not made you a sour person. You're somebody who's very, very caring. Yeah. With the King of Wands here, I also wanted to point out that maybe, like, because we do have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck, so this could have been an ancestral or family pattern also that you have broken, where business people who within your family started businesses did not succeed, and you are the one who's breaking that cycle. And especially with the fact that you're doing it with grace and ease. Not I and by ease, I don't mean that you're not, putting in the efforts. By ease, I mean you are recognizing how energies also work, and you're putting in the actions too. So it's not, hard work. It's certainly manipulating energy to create greater, and also smart work, right? So let's see. So yeah, that's the point I wanted to make, that you are breaking that cycle of, and you've changed that cycle of within your family where there was no success with business, because you clearly are having that success. So what is it that you are not aware of? What's the blind spot when it comes to your family connections? Hmm. Okay, so that was a lot of those were a lot of cards actually. So we're going to, yeah, 3 again. So 3 might be an important number for some people here. With Queen of Pentacles, I would definitely like to say that some of you have could be earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Capricorn is definitely coming strongly. I it's just that I'm going to shuffle again, and I'm sorry that it's taking time. So what's a blind spot that file number 2 is not aware of? Please give me one card. You're giving me 4 and 3 cards. Like, I recognize that maybe there's certain extra messages coming through. Okay, finally we have the moon. Oh wow, we do have the high priestess, which did come up as a blind spot for pile number 1. So maybe you are drawn to that pile. Only choose to look at that pile if you're drawn to it. There might be some messages there for you. With moon, take note of intuitive messages. I feel like your blind spot when it comes to family connections is, I feel like you perceive your intuitive awareness when it comes to um, the intentions or the energies of people around you. So this could be relatives as well. You might give them too much of a benefit of doubt, and you fear that what they're trying to say or what they're wanting to say is not true. And so because of that fear, you overshadow your own awareness with your fear. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that whatever perceptions you receive or awareness you receive about your relatives or the people in your family apart from your parents, and it could be your parents as well, for some of you, you get that intuitive hit. Yet like I said, you have a very soft heart, you have not tainted yourself with aggression and anger, or your heart center with that. And actually there's nothing wrong or right about any of that. It's just that we need to embrace it. But with you, you've definitely kept your heart softer, loving, and because of that you might give benefit of doubt to a lot of people around you, and underestimate the awareness that you get about certain people's awareness, intentions or energies. And this might even show up in your dreams. So basically the message is to not undermine the value of what you're receiving intuitively. Pile number two, even if you don't like materially or physically or take an action actively per se regarding this, but there's definitely an indication that you should not ignore it, so that at least emotionally and mentally you can shift the energy, certainly take actions thereafter which you can take essentially, to care for, safeguard, exactly, safeguard yourself, safeguard your wealth is what I'm getting, and safeguard your entire family. I feel like what I'm receiving is also that you might make other people's opinion yours or your ideology, because I feel like you, like I said, very intuitive pile, very connected pile. So you might be receiving a lot of messages which may not be just messages. Essentially it could be, some of you could be telepathic, or something on those lines wherein you receive what people might be thinking. So instead of internalizing it or making it your own, there is this tool and access consciousness which I really like. For every thought, feeling, and emotion, just ask the question, who does this belong to? And if you can't remember that question, just ask, is this even mine? Because I feel like the blind spot is many of the inhibitions and fears that people around you have. You don't see that you make it yours, and probably that is the reason why you fear opening up as well. Because so, like I said, you have broken, some of you have broken that cycle of having a unsuccessful business, so you are the one who's having a successful business. So a lot of fears may not even be yours that you are receiving or perceiving and internalizing. I would say you might be internalizing this in your body, and that could be creating health issues too. Because like I said in the beginning, this pile is taking care of their health a lot, so body is somehow coming up very strongly here. Either way, what you probably are not recognizing is that maybe some of those health issues could be getting triggered with these fears as well, or these fears might be adding on to those ailments, right? So don't let go of or think that whatever intuitive hit you're receiving about people's energies, be it good or bad, don't undermine it. When you receive the information, relax into it, and then, like I said, meditate and see what plan of action you need to take, or use tools to remove that thought, the energy of that thought, especially if it is not high vibrational, from your system. And recognize, what is it that is true for me? Ask that question, is this even true for me? Is this mine? What else is possible? What can I do here? And make it a point to release this from your system. We are having fireworks at the background. So I feel like your cheerleaders, I was about to say your spirit team is definitely cheering you on for the massive changes you've brought into the family. This feels like a generational change for a lot of you. Let's see what is the advice coming in from your higher self. I will link a heart chakra frequency meditation below your piles timestamp. So definitely check that out. And Yeah, I think that would be a good place to start from if you are not having any spiritual practices as it is, so that your heart center starts getting clearer, especially clearer of these intuitive hits that you ignore about people's intentions and their fears or projections around you and your family members. So, what is the advice from your higher self? You uncut these. We have we have Hirayat, I think is that's how you pronounce it. So you do have some energy similar to pile number one. So if you're drawn to it, please do go look at it, because this was the bottom deck energy for their pile as well. So Hirayat, longing for home, homesick for the stars. So some of you could recognize or relate to the concept of star seeds. And yeah, again, that Egyptian lineage thing or Egyptian culture is something you might be drawn to, or some of you do actually, pray to some of these deities. Thought is coming through very strongly for this pile. With Hirayat, longing for home and homesick for the stars. Um, oh, I'm getting very emotional, but essentially, what your higher self wants to say is that please, please, please come back to your heart center, and come back to your heart center with utmost compassion and softness and grace for yourself. Pile number two. Recognize that you have done a wonderful job just being here, regardless of anything else. You are wonderful because of who you are, not because of anything else. You are wonderful because you're an extension of that energy, of which we all are an extension of the source or God or whoever you believe in, the universe. And please recognize the abundance and wealth of true, genuine, unconditional love you have within yourself. And before giving it to anybody else, it's you who has to receive it. It's you who has to look into the bright shining star, the nebula, the birthing of so many things, or the death of things that don't work out, but then are the birthing of amazing, beautiful, wondrous things in the universe. Recognize that that is the energy that moves through you. You are fully 100% inside and out deserving of the love and care you share with others. It's like your higher self is giving you a hug from the back and really squishing you with love right now. That's what I'm receiving. So if you need a good cry, because I feel like that's coming through, please give yourself the grace to do that. You're such a kind soul, pile number two. Please recognize this about yourself. And definitely, I feel like this pile needs to get a rose quartz for themselves if they don't already work with it. You're very beautiful, pile number two, inside and out. So I hope that this was helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for joining this video, and definitely share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear them. And please do share this video if you think it could help someone out in some way, shape, or form again. And do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in future readings. Hi, pile number three. If you chose this pile, the free spirit, or the card number three, this is your reading. First things first, definitely the numbers 1, 3, and 4 are very strongly coming for this pile. So you could be born in January, March, or April. You could have these numbers significantly in your birth date, or it is a part, could be a part of your life path number as well. So this card we are going to look at later. First, let's look at these cards here. So we have the Magician, the Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Um, So for this pile, so basically, the Page of Cups is your energy. The Magician represents your the connection, the energy of the connection with your parents or whoever you consider as your parents. And these two cards here, which are the Three of Pentacles and the Emperor. These cards here represent your connection with your siblings or whoever you consider as your siblings. And with Three of Pentacles here, I feel like. For many of you, you could be three siblings actually, and the person who has chosen this pile, you could be, for some of you, I'm getting that you are the middle child, the basically, yeah, the middle child essentially. So you have a very soft center, essentially. I mean, quite romantic in nature. You might romanticize life itself. Very intuitive, very the kind of person who wears their heart on the sleeve. So you're very considerate of others' feelings and emotions. And you look up to your siblings a lot, or whoever you consider as your siblings, because was maybe it's a family that you've chosen, right? Not your blood related family. Either way, you look up to them a lot. You might even keep them on a pedestal, or you definitely pray for them. There is no doubt about it. Like, pray for their well-being, for create for the universe to bring in abundance from them. Definitely very heart center, and you put your heart into anything your siblings ask for, or whoever you consider as your siblings as. That's what I'm receiving. And with the parents, I perceive this energy that they were there for you many times, because we had the Magician. So they might even have you. I don't feel like this pile has had struggles financially. You have been middle class or maybe even upper class, so basic resources were definitely taken care of. And like I've said in my readings, it is a general reading. If this does not resonate for you, maybe it's not for you, and just take whatever resonates for you, because we are reading for such a big collective, right? So either way, what I'm trying to say is that with your parents, they definitely provided for you a lot, but I feel like there's a loss of emotional connection there. And there could also be this energy of whatever you poured out to them energetically and especially emotionally was not reciprocated. So you might have felt like yeah, you might have felt neglected amongst your siblings. Or even if it's not siblings, your parents could have been so much invested in their work life that they were not there for you emotionally, is what I'm receiving. Yeah, like with the Emperor here, definitely for this pile, you guys do look up to one sibling. That's coming very strongly. Does not have to be true for everybody, but definitely is coming up quite strongly for a lot of you. And I'm also getting that some of you might be the night owls essentially. And what I think that people don't recognize is that even though you're so emotional, so soft, very childlike in your emotional expression specifically, what they don't recognize is that you are quite strategic as well, very clever. We did have the devil show up earlier as well when I was shuffling your cards, but I didn't want to like take it out. But it's there regardless. So yeah, with the devil, I definitely feel like you are very strategic, very strategic in the sense that you are aware of, who in who sorry, this is Mercury retrograde period when I'm filming this, so please excuse me with all the fumblings. But what I'm trying to say is that you are energetically, especially mentally, very clear about people's intention. Like I said, because you're quite emotional, that you do have that capacity to look through people's facades, basically, and also recognize, what their intention is. And the hardworking nature of your parents might also give you this insight as to, it has probably, shaped you who you are as a person, in the sense that you've recognized how much important it is to care for yourself physically, but more than that, you've also recognized the true mark of a leader is a person who cares for others and not just, creates a foundation. I mean, that's a very important step, so don't get me wrong, but definitely, like, there's a need of compassion, a softness, a grace that is required. And I feel like that's the missing piece that you have figured out, and specifically mentally, and how, I mean, how much it is important to go forward, and how important it is to have mental clarity to move forward, and emotional clarity. Sorry, I wanted to say emotional clarity mostly because that's going to clear your mental plane as well. Because so many times we, confuse our emotion or emotional response for what we think is our intuitive response. But because you are so in touch with your emotions, you probably express it through art, words, or the way you dress. You are in touch with your inner voice, and that has given you this, edge over other people. And especially the way you've seen your parents, relationship play out with you, you've recognized how important it is to take care of your emotional health. And taking care of it is very important in moving forward, and with clarity as well. So with the card free spirit here, number 13, this is what you're aware of. So you're aware of the fact that many people around you in your family are bound, but you are not. And so much of it comes through truly giving into what is, coming through from your inner voice, like valuing your intuition, your awareness. With 13 and number 4, so again, like, number 4 is very strong here. So in Vedic astrology, it's called, number 4 is represented by Rahu, so which is the North Node. So you guys might have Rahu with, I'm getting Venus, so North Node with Venus, or even Mercury. Mercury placement is coming definitely very strongly. So, like I said, even though you are coming off very emotional and innocent, what people don't realize is that you are quite astute mentally as well, very clear mentally. They might underestimate your intelligence, is what I'm receiving. So, many of you could have very strong Gemini placements. That's one thing that's coming in for sure. Your North Node could be in Gemini, or your fourth house could be in Gemini, or third house could be in Gemini for some of you. Third house definitely coming through quite strongly. With the Emperor here, especially with your connection with your siblings, when it comes to your siblings, what I feel is like you may not see that your siblings actually look at you as some form of a leader, even though you do look at some of them as a leader. But what you don't recognize is they also look at you in some way, shape, or form, in the form of a leader. And I would definitely say, especially, they might be surprised, or maybe, they actually respect you for the fact that you are very well versed with your emotions. And even though you express your emotions so much, which they might think is unstable, but they are surprised at the stability that you have mentally. That's what I'm receiving. So that's an additional message, and very interesting, like something that I didn't think would come up. But yeah, with the free spirit here, definitely what you recognize is that you being a free spirit is actually one of your strengths. I feel like you do recognize you're breaking the patterns within the family by embracing your awareness, your intuition, your inner voice, taking care of yourself, being kinder to yourself, really taking care of your internal dialogue, your inner world. You know that this actually strengthens a person. This really, adds to the fuel of the spirit of who you are, and you're not diminishing it. You're highly aware of the fact that this is probably what is even lacking within your family, and that you're breaking that cycle by embracing who you are. This is what you are aware of. And this is beyond the fact that you don't may not get the recognition for it, so you don't require validation. And without validation, you do look at this as a strength of yours. So amazing. Pile number three. One thing I did want to add is that we did have three of swords at the bottom of the deck. So with the, especially like that was for the deck that told us about your connection energy of the energy of your connection with your siblings. So with three of swords, I definitely feel like as a team, you guys have overcome a lot of emotional turmoil. You might see each other as therapists too in some way, shape, or form. So I would maybe they look at you also as a therapist. That is what I was just saying. Like they're in awe of how much you can take emotionally and still be mentally clear and stable. So they do commend that for some of you here. Let's see, what are you not aware of, or what is a blind spot within your family connections? Too many cards. There might be an elder sister or an older feminine energy that you do look up to. Do we take all of these? No. We're taking this. So this card was showing up before I was shuffling the deck for your pile, like getting ready for your pile essentially, which is a mirror guardian. Take time to reflect. And we do have the stag here, trust and thrive, because I'm talking about these cards because I'm being guided to do so. And so I'm going to put this here. And we actually have stargazer, set your sights higher. The first sentence that's coming to me is what you are not aware of is the fact that you are respected a lot and you're seen as a guide which you do not recognize, especially when it comes to your siblings, or whoever you consider as your siblings. They definitely look at you as someone who has foresight, who's very intelligent, who knows how to work around energy and create a life for themselves, and they really admire this about you. So I feel like maybe if you could acknowledge this to yourself and truly admire the person that you are, the being that you are, because and I definitely, like, Mercury energy is definitely coming through very strongly. So if you set your sights higher, I feel like the more you express yourself, if you are not already doing it, although with the page of cups I was getting that some of you are actually already expressing yourself very well, but if you are a closeted self-expressing person or an artist, definitely know that your voice is valuable. Don't think that it's only for you, because it's a gift that is going to inspire many people. So it's interesting that it's a blind spot within the family, because I feel like this is, like I said, you might not be getting the verbal confirmation about it from your family members, but this is what you need to recognize, that they do look up to you. They do look at you as a leader, and you really need to recognize this and not underestimate yourself or look at yourself as someone who is in the background. That's not the only role you are playing. You are definitely playing the role of a true leader by being free spirited. I perceive that some of you might consider your free spirited energy as you being a rebel, and that everyone only looks at you as a rebel and does not recognize the potency, the quality of life, the quality of emotions, the quality of information that you bring through. You could feel like this, it's not recognized, but that's the blind spot. I feel that you need to express it more, because that's when you're going to see how much actually people do take heed to what you are saying. They do value what you're sharing. They do value the energy, the awareness you're sharing, and most of all, I feel like they do see you as a royalty, is what I'm getting, in some way, shape, or form, which you don't recognize as much. Would take time to reflect here. I feel like What you may not recognize is that people around you, not all, for all of you may not be true, could be, but I'm getting for a fewer people, that you don't recognize that people do know that you may be a little scared of expressing yourself fully, or fearful of sharing your gifts. So people do like in with your family connections, that's a blind spot that you're not seeing, or something that you're not aware of, that they do recognize that you are scared of sharing yourself entirely. And that does not mean, what do they say basically, Mm, uh, flashing your dirty laundry, something like that, I don't remember. Something on those lines, like that's not exact what I mean when I say that you have to share yourself with the world, but more so about your imaginative, creative, artistic endeavors, what you have to share. Don't keep it to yourself. Your family members definitely feel that you need to take your work out there into the world, especially your siblings, and I feel like you may not recognize how much, if they have shared it, you don't recognize how much they actually genuinely mean that you should do this. May You might be underestimating how much they actually like the weightage in their words, because they definitely mean it. So that's the blind spot, my friends, for you guys and your family, that your family does know how well versed you are with your emotions, with your artwork, maybe, and how well you express it. And you really need to show up in the world. Set your sights higher. Don't be a closeted artist. Come out, shine your light. Care is the word I'm getting. So share your caring nature with the world. Some might like it, some might not, but there are people who would admire it, right? So let's see what is the advice coming through from your higher self. This could be that you are being advised to take your creative endeavors and do literally, yeah, literally, but and I mean, it's up to you, it's your life, but there's definitely this awareness coming in that this missing part, or the blind spot, is definitely that recognizing this fact that you can monetize your artistic skills. So maybe your family members do see it and you don't, and that is the blind spot. That's like one of the blind spot, added on to this. So we do have forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. I mean, that just reiterates what I was saying. That's the bottom deck energy, and we have the courageous peony, and we have big picture thinking. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Yeah. Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Like I said, very heart centered energy, and your higher self is clearly saying, pile number three, you have to show up in the world, because your work is very healing. Your work is going to inspire a lot of people to come out of their shells as well, to express themselves in the world. And could be some of these people could really be people in your family itself. So don't sell yourself short by undermining the value of what you could provide to the world, and you're already doing it by just existing. But definitely sharing your artistic endeavors is going to be such a plethora is not a word, like explosion of inspiration and possibilities for a lot of people. So I perceive that this pile is definitely being encouraged to show up on social media, or basically any network or a medium, basically where their work is being seen by a lot many people. And if you're doing so already, or if you started on this journey, definitely this is an encouraging message. And with it's so interesting, we do have set your sights higher and big picture thinking, the courageous peony. It's like truly like this message is getting repeated 3 times. So, pile number 3, I feel like there is a requirement to reflect on what you think is possible with your artwork, right? What you think, or where you have limited yourself as to what your career could be, or how much should you share your intelligence, your skills with the world. Because I feel like there is a level up that is required, and that you're fearing that, and your higher self is clearly saying that you need to move into this new portal. You have to level up. That's a strong message coming through. And share your light with the world, because it's so important and required right now for the collective. Like, reflection is definitely coming again and again. So definitely look at your plan, business plan, or even just your life and how you're planning it. Are you giving yourself the due credit and valuing what you offer to the world? Because that's very much required. Maybe some of you, it's not just artistic endeavors, it's probably actually being a therapist, a counselor, a spiritual counselor, an art therapist, could be any of those things. Or therapy through writing, anything that suits you and is your strength, it is required in the world, because it's going to bring in a lot of healing energy, and especially healing energy in the form of inspiring people to move out of their the chains that they have laid upon themselves, and not letting themselves grow. So breaking free from those chains and showing up in the world as who they truly are, that is what you are going to inspire the more you level up and show up in the world. There's a lot of this is basically your higher self is definitely kicking your butt and asking you to move out of your comfort zone and step into the power of who you are. And interestingly enough, that is the blind spot in your family connections as well. Like, you undermine how much people actually do respect or value what you have to provide, especially your siblings. This could be an older sibling as well, or even cousins. So yeah, with force and don't follow also, like, be the leader you wish you had. Very clearly it's stating that maybe the devil card is also showing up here, and we do have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. I perceive that this fear that you might have inculcated from your connection with your parents, wherein they did not value your emotional insight or your emotional intelligence, or it was not reciprocated, that fear might be holding you off from bursting into the true power of who you are and exploding into the world, not imploding and destroying your own self by hiding. And there's nothing right or wrong about it. You can definitely change it whenever you choose to, and as you think fits your life, your awareness, right? So the awareness is definitely that too. I mean, with karmic relationships and the devil card there definitely showing up. So moving past these heartbreaks where you doubted your capacity to be this loving, kind, gentle energy, and undermining the value that you bring to the world by expressing yourself truly, be it through artwork, through counseling, through sharing your ideas, your journey, your tips and tricks as to how you're emotionally true to yourself. Sharing that is very, very important for this part, and that's being multifaceted is what we are getting. But like, I mean the word here, but definitely it's being repeated multiple times in the reading, that you need to buck up, you need to pull your socks up and show up more in the world, because it's a gift to everyone, including you. You're a star, pile number 3. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this was helpful. And yeah, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do share this video with anyone you think that they would benefit from. Wow. But thank you so much, pile number 3. I hope that this was contributing to you in some way, shape, or form. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in future readings. Bye bye.